We are Chris and Jen, and we are on a journey.
We are full-time RVers from Pennsylvania, learning how to live on the road while exploring the outdoors and the history of America.
Join in at To Wander Freely.
Beginning our journey to Kings Canyon National Park from the Kings Canyon Visitor Center, we must first pass through Sequoia National Forest. We are starting at a moderately high altitude, around 6,500 feet in elevation, and we get glimpses of snowy capped peaks through the trees around us. As we gradually make our descension down to the canyon floor, we have a lot of overlooks to stop at. Chris thoroughly enjoys driving on these kind of roads. We are both really enjoying the views here. While the Sierra Nevada do not have a welcoming or inviting feel about them, their look is more one of austerity and impressive ruggedness. As we continue along, we finally come into view of the river. Its white water crashes against the rocks below. These rivers are fed by the melting snowpack high in the peaks of the Sierra Nevada. As we get closer to the canyon, the sheer rock is astounding. We eventually come alongside the river, where we can enjoy the sound of its white water. Wild trout survive in the Kings River. Fishing is also allowed, but it is only catch and release.
So behind me is Grizzly Falls in Kings Canyon.
Here is some information about the surrounding cliffs in Kings Canyon. Finally, we have reached our destination, Kings Canyon. This is the end of the road for vehicles. The only access beyond this point is by trails. On our way back out of Kings Canyon, we stopped at the General Grant Grove to enjoy watching the sequoias in the setting sun. That ends our trip to Kings Canyon. If you would like, you can stop the video now, or if you want to continue along with us as we get lost on the way back to our campground, please continue. But I'm going to forewarn you that we do ramble a bit. As always, thanks for watching, and if you'd like more information about our visit to Kings Canyon and Sequoia National Park, please visit our blog. The link is posted in the description below. So, in all of our months on the road, we have never once gotten lost.
Well, that's probably not entirely true.
I can't think of a time that we got lost. And now we decided to leave Sequoia National Park a different way.
As dark was setting in.
Of course, I had to stay for the sunset, and this is where we missed it. We come out here, we came down the road, and we totally thought that this was 245 coming all the way down here. We did not realize that the road changes names to Dry Creek Road. We have to get all the way over here is where our campground is at Three Rivers. We probably should have just gone through the park again.
Well, now that this happened, yes.
Oh,
we definitely
man.
got back quicker. And honestly, I don't think the switchbacks were any worse than this road.
No, this road was terrible.
245 is like a roller coaster.
Yeah, it's been terrible. So
We gotta go a ways back.
it's 9:50. It's 9:15. We're like way out. See, it goes off the map here, and of course we have no service, and it just reminds you of how much you rely on your phone, and it's so frustrating.
Don't have it, man. The old map.
It's our own fault though. We should have looked at this ahead of time. Like, the problem was we had no service even in the park, and when we left this morning, we didn't even plan to go out this entrance. We planned to go back through the entrance we came in. But after doing all those switchbacks, we were like, no. And because we were here at sunset, we decided, well, let's go out. It's got to be quicker to go this way, around and up.
You drove a fifth of the way across the state in the wrong direction.
I know. Clearly our plan worked out really well for us. Way to go. And of course, there's nothing out here.
No, dude, there's nothing.
I mean, it is just
This is the
pitch
windiest mountain road I think we could have found outside of the park.
we just got kind of done with these windy parts that were seriously starting to make me car sick again. So now we have to go back through them. But so hopefully we'll find our way. I'm sure we will. We'll find our way to something anyway. And
Let's back in the
this-
park, and then we can go home that way.
if we go back in the park, I'm staying at the lodge.
They're all booked. Not staying. We're staying in the parking lot.
Oh, they will. I will give them a very sad face.
Yep. This is like one of the few times too that like we've stayed out until dark.
I know we never do this. We really
we always
don't.
get back so that we're driving during the day, because all the 99% of the roads we drive on, where they're unfamiliar to us, we're on them for the first time, so it's a lot easier to deal with them in the daylight.
You know what the problem is though? It's national parks because you literally want to,
Yeah.
you
Wanna
know,
see
you
the
want to
sunset,
say,
you wanna be
yeah.
there.
We watched the
Yeah.
sunset on the sequoias. It was just gorgeous. I mean, just absolutely beautiful. So this would be.
It was worth it.
It was worth it.
Assuming we don't die out here tonight.
What? It's California. As long as there's not an earthquake, we're fine.
Yeah.
But you know, this is what you might call a downside to full-time RVing, it being on the road all the time and have no idea where you are most of the time, and
Yes.
because we move around so much. So anyway, we will keep going and we will persevere.
Onward.
Can I turn the light back on, or does it bother you?
No, it really doesn't.
So Chris has a confession to make.
What?
What did you
Confession.
just say before I turned the phone on?
I said. No, I think I know where the turn is.
Yeah, he saw the turn, people. Oh my gosh, there's another car.
That's finally somebody else went past us. That's the first person we've seen for like an hour on this road.
And it's a little leprechaun.
Yeah, it was a little RV. I bet he's trying to go back to the same RV park we are. No, buddy, you missed the turn. No. So here's the thing.
No.
I think I know where the turn is. I wasn't aware I needed to make a turn, therefore I wasn't looking to make one.
Right.
But since there's so few turns on this road, I'm pretty sure I know where we have to turn.
I mean, it was our own fault. We just read the map wrong. We just weren't paying attention to
Oh
it.
yeah, I just saw a straight line
Yeah.
from the one route to the other. It started out as 245. There's so few roads out here, I thought it's 245 the whole way.
Right.
False.
So then when he's like, we pass a road out here in the middle of nowhere, and I'm like, well, let me double check the map. I don't think there were any other roads on it, but let me look at the map. I look at the map and I'm like, Chris, we're not even on the right road. Like, this isn't even.
And she's like, did we go through Badger? I'm like, yeah, about 40 miles back. She's like, well, that's where we had to turn. Yeah.
And
These things happen.
it wouldn't be. It wouldn't be so bad if we didn't have to face all these curves again.
All these freaking curves. Gonna be the end of us.
And there's literally, I mean, that was the only car we've passed in like probably a good hour of driving.
Oh, easily. And the best part is, like, when we were doing these curves in the opposite direction, like towards the end of them, we were literally saying to each other, like, my gosh, I feel like we're going to be doing these curves all night. Then about 5 minutes later, we figure out we have to turn around and go back through them all.
What?
See, that sign back there said Badger.
Okay.
So we must, but that was not a road. Could not have been a road. But I think we're getting close to Badger.
Oh, crikey. Oh, so we won't have to go back through all of the
Well, I don't know.
lines. Then.
I just saw Badger on that sign. I mean, it might have been completely unrelated.
And then we were talking about how the whole time, probably the reason we weren't even paying any attention is because we were talking the entire time, reminiscing about things. We went to high school together, and we were talking about all these old memories. And here we are, just driving in the black darkness, no other cars, no homes, no anything.
Nothing. Not even any wildlife out here that we're coming across. I mean,
You think you'd see deer? Yeah, something.
we're driving
No,
in some abyss.
you know, I'm gonna look at the map then when we get home and
Yeah.
see where 245 goes, but it is a concern though, because when you are, especially like us, when we're moving a lot, it sounds like, well, you guys should just be more prepared, or you should plan more. And the truth is, if we planned everything that we did, we would spend all of our time planning and not any time doing anything, because we're always moving, and it's always places that we don't have any reference of, really.
Yeah. And normally we have a book map in here. Unfortunately, right now it's in the trailer, so it's not doing as good. Forgot to bring that back out into the truck.
So sometimes you end up with the perfect storm.
Yeah. Happens.
Yeah.
What's really going to be funny is when we just keep winding, and the first thing we come upon is the entrance gate back into the park.
If we get to the entrance, seriously, I'm sleeping over. I don't care if we sleep in a parking lot. It's not that late out, but I can't take going back through the park. I mean, I think from one end to the other, I think it was like over 2 hours. Doing it in
To
this
the end of
dark,
Kings
although this
Canyon?
is like the
you mean
same.
Kings Canyon?
No, it's a General Grant. Yeah, it took us like 2 hours.
Oh, right. Yeah, because that's a lot farther past Sherman, you're right.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
It took us like an hour to get to Sherman, right? And then another hour to get to this end of the park. So now you can see the windiness.
This is the part that just seems to wind forever and ever. And you have no points of reference. It's
Yeah, you just can't
come
see.
around the curve and you see another curve about 100 yards ahead.
I hope you
Oh, there's another one. There's another one.
I hope I'm not making viewers car sick, but I just wanted to give you a taste of what this is like.
Oh,
You're doing good.
You're doing good.
Keep turning. Use those
Turning.
arms.
Yeah, I'm getting a good arm workout today, that's for sure.
All right, now we need to start paying attention and not talking about memories. And
Yeah.
all right, we'll see how we end up here.
Get that.
Get the map. Okay, why do you need to see the map? That's the road. This is the road.
Need to get the heck out of here.
And that's what we were looking for. The Mountain House. Ooh, dining, saloon, and games.
Which map were you looking at?
And at the time that we came across this, we were looking at the saloon. I specifically remember we were looking at the saloon and we were like, man, that place looks a little rough around the edges. And totally missed the turn. So Chris just found it.
Now we get to take a back road that's not even lined.
Oh,
Thankfully
man.
it's paved. This one has signs all over it saying, put snow chains on.
Well, fortunately, we're not here.
Hopefully it's not snowy, but Lord knows it's going to be a hilly,
25 miles per
windy
hour. That's the
road.
problem. These
Oh.
windy roads, like you. I'm gonna
Ah,
shoot.
wind. Next 16 miles. That sounds like a freaking fantastic time.
Well, and that's the problem. Like, you can't make up time because literally you have to go 20 to 30 miles an hour. You just can't go anywhere faster around here.
Yeah.
The good news is we didn't. What time is it? 9:30. So we had only gone 15
The
minutes.
good news is if we go off one of these curves and off a cliff, at least we'll be out of our misery.
But we only
Never-ending
lost.
trip home, we'll be done.
We only lost like a half hour. Really, that's not that bad considering.
What?
It could have been a lot worse.
But thank goodness you looked at the map.
Yeah.
The fun part's going to be tomorrow when we can actually get online somewhere and see where 245 goes. We were probably within like 5 minutes of a road that also took us to the campground.
I know.
But you just
because-
can't assume that because literally it looked like we were just going to be winding into oblivion.
And somehow I have to
Hours on
say,
end.
245 actually looked better than this.
Yep. I'm just glad it's paved. My worst fear was that it was going to be
A dirt road.
which this truck is terrible on dirt roads.
If that happened, we would probably just try 245 and see. We'd end up in Fresno or
we'd
something.
go back
So
and
we're
forth.
still on Dry Creek Road and we're continuing on. We've passed several, what looks like ranches.
Yeah. There's actually some lines striped on the road now, which is a good sign, and it's gotten a little less windy. The first 8 or 9 miles were it was pretty curvy. Actually, the road really got narrow in some areas. It was really just wide enough for one vehicle to pass. But looks like we're straightening out a little bit and getting a little closer to civilization.
So one of the things that was funny was that we're on Dry Creek Road and one of the signs that we passed, it just says, it was just,
Yellow.
yeah, a yellow,
Regular
like
yellow
a regular
street
yellow
sign.
street sign, and it just said flooded.
Like permanently.
Yeah, like it didn't say something's flooded, it was just like flooded, and it's on Dry Creek Road, so we thought that was kind of funny. But so we are continuing on, and shortly we should, well, hopefully shortly,
Yes.
I don't know how much longer we could possibly make this drive, but we should be turning left onto, I guess, what was it, 198?
198, or we turn left onto 216 real quick, and then that puts us on 198. Yeah.
Right. So this is the way to get to the other entrance. And this is what happens with national parks, because they, you know, there's a reason that they're national parks. You know, usually they're secluded, so even surrounding them outside of their borders, it's usually pretty empty. So getting around them can be pretty tough. So the other thing that
Here we go again, flooded.
oh, here, let me show you.
Flooded. Not sure what.
I mean, it's just flooded. How funny is that? I don't.
Road narrows, flooded. Excellent.
I don't.
Throw on some more obstacles by all means. Waiting for the detour to pop up around the corner here. Backtrack 56 miles.
Yeah, no.
Almost there.
We are almost there. But the other thing I was going to say is that it's now almost 10 o'clock, and that's another thing that we don't, just out of courtesy to other people staying at the campground, we prefer not to get back really late.
Yeah, the big D's rolling into the campground, waking everybody up. That's not something we like to do.
Right, because our truck is very loud.
Can't
so
sneak around anywhere in this thing.
Right, it's just, I mean, it happens and other people do it, and I mean, I don't think it's a big deal to me when it happens, but I can understand that other people would, you know, it is. We try to be courteous, like I said, and make sure that we're back there at a reasonable hour, and after 10 is usually not our favorite time to be pulling in, especially a campground that's really crowded, so, but,
Another one. Flooded.
like we said, stop it.
What?
Like we said, sometimes it just can't be helped. Okay, so we came to a T, but of course it doesn't have our road on it. It does not say that. It doesn't say anything on here. We came to a T. It should be our road, possibly, but instead it doesn't have any numbers. It's just listed as Lomitas.
I think we're okay.
You think that's the right road?
Go left, because I think we're through the bridge here. And it looks like we're passing over water.
Oh yeah, there's the Kauai River, so that has to be right. Gotta stay somewhat close to that.
So this should take us to...
So just when we thought we had it figured out,
Yeah. Street side.
but there are at least other people here on the road, so hopefully we got it this time. Okay, coming up to the next stop sign,
Yes.
Three Rivers, and it does say 198. Oop, sorry. Can't show the viewers the sign, but it did just say 198. So we're on our way. There, what is?
198.
Oh, 198, you saw the sign? Yay! Alright, so we did it, Chris! We hit the...
Back in familiar territory, it's a good feeling.
Now we just have to go all the way past the dam, right? And the lake.
Yeah.
So we probably have like another 20 minutes.
Yeah. What does this say?
Life jackets.
Ah. Right there.
Second ramp closed now. Yeah, we're good. Okay, alright. So we did it.
Excellent.
If you can believe it, we actually did end up making it out. So we weren't really lost. We just missed a turn, but we knew where we were. So technically we weren't really lost. So
That's right.
So we're on our way back, and thanks for sharing the fun with us, and we'll see you next time.